Conflict drives change. This has been a truth throughout all human history, and will likely continue to be a truth as long as different ideologies continue to exist. While it's true that the different cultures and races have been at odds for various reasons, it comes as no surprise that many a conflict has been waged over religion. The Dragon Age universe, and Dragon Age Origins specifically, paints a rather detailed image of the kind of world that is blanketed under the control of a dominant religion. In Dragon Age, the Chantry controls many aspects of the common man's life, and if you are unlucky enough to be born a mage, your entire existence will be under the thumb of their rule. Now, it's no secret that the Chantry is likely fashioned after the Catholic Church at the height of its power and influence during the medieval era. But what do the mages represent? Just as the Chantry blames the mages for the corruption of the Golden City, so too did the Catholic Church blame an entire group for the actions of a few. That group is none other than the followers of Judaism, whom the Catholic Church vilified for centuries for their part in the persecution and crucifixion of Jesus. The Catholic Church teaches that there was a single original sin, that being Judas Iscariot selling out Christ to the Roman soldiers and the Jews for crucifixion. Similarly, the Chantry in the Dragon Age universe also has an original sin. Or rather, they have two, and interestingly, both of them are the fault of mages. The first, actual original sin, was the mages of the Tevinter Imperium worshipping the old gods, rather than the quote-unquote one true maker. The second sin, as it is called, is the aforementioned corruption of the seed of the Maker, the Golden City. Here is a brief excerpt from the opening scene of Dragon Age Origins, explaining both the second sin and its immediate ramifications.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn.
Did you notice how nobody specific was actually blamed, but rather just mages as a whole? It should be noted that both of these sins were committed by one country, that being the Tevinter Imperium. However, the Chantry's Bible, called the Chant of Light, only points out mages as the true culprits. Only by delving into codex entries found throughout the game can you find that it was actually the rulers of the Tevinter Imperium who committed these sins. Much like the mages, Jews throughout history have had trouble with the so-called one true religion. Their refusal to believe that Jesus is the one true God remains a sour point to this day, and much like the Chantry, the Catholic Church has demonized Jews as a whole in the past for acts committed centuries ago. Also like mages, Judaism has had no shortage of corruption and schisms within its own sect. In Dragon Age Origins, you have two companions who are mages, and they both represent very different ideals, both about magic and the part that mages must play in society. Wynne is a mage of the Circle, which means that she willingly gave up her freedom to be under the control and scrutiny of the Chantry. While it's true that this isn't a real choice, as mages who are not under the control of the Chantry are hunted down and killed, most mages, like Wynne, believe that this is the lesser of two evils, as the power of magic is equal parts alluring and dangerous. Wynne's beliefs are the embodiment of the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. She, and mages like her, relate closely to a sect of Judaism known as the Pharisees, who adhered to a strict observance of the Hebrew Scripture, relying only on tradition and how things have always been done. They're also noted for being the group that called for and carried out Christ's crucifixion. On the other hand, we have Morrigan, who is an illegal mage outside the Chantry's influence. She believes that circle mages are little more than willing slaves to the Chantry, who deserve nothing but scorn. She despises the Chantry and all it stands for, and believes that magic serves as a pathway to true power. She is more a mix of two different Jewish sects, the Essenes and the Zealots. The Essenes were isolationists who cared little for the Pharisees and their politics, while the Zealots were nationalists who despised the ruling Jewish elites for allowing outside influences like the Roman Empire to dictate them. I've shown the parallels between these two entities, but what knowledge can be drawn from this comparison? Is there any kind of real-world lesson that can be learned from the plight of the mages of Dragon Age? One commonly seen theme throughout the series is extremism and the dangers that it poses. As discussed earlier, Judaism has seen no shortage of extremism from all sides. However, I think the better lesson to learn here is that hating an entire group over the actions of a few will not change those actions. Both in Dragon Age and in reality, many people are all too willing to believe any kind of hateful rhetoric that is spewed in the name of religion. Not all mages are responsible for the fall of the Golden City, and not all Jews are responsible for the death of Jesus. Should you side with the mages, it is revealed that they are given more equality in society after the game ends, thus proving that compassion should always outweigh hatred. As I stated at the beginning, conflict may drive change, but it is compassion that creates bright futures.